Everyone, it is currently the 23rd of November 2014. It may not be a full-fledged tropical system just yet, but we do have a low pressure area in Vest 93W just towards the east of Palau, and yeah, moving off towards the west. This little area here does pose the potential to become our next named storm system. Would be called Tropical Depression Queenie if it does enter the Philippine area of responsibility as a low pressure area. Given the latest analysis from the satellite imagery, though, we do see some rotation in the upper level. Also, the Japan Meteorological Agency, a low pressure area is located in this area, but outside of that, they don't really have anything in a forecast type basis, meaning that there is no track put out on this. And even with the 24 and 48 hour analysis from the Japan Meteorological Agency, let's go ahead and put up the 24-hour analysis. They don't have anything extending behind that low pressure area and just some weak troughing in the easterly. So that's really what we're seeing at this time from the official agencies. JTWC still has nothing out on this. Low risk of development in the southern Pacific, nothing on our area towards the east of As I mentioned before, it is an invest area with NOAA out here, invest 93W. So what that really means is that they're just going to be concentrating on this area a little bit more with the satellite. You zoom in, you put a floater on top of it. Also, some model runs start to come out with this. Go ahead and get into this on the topic of models. First, let's break this down, what the different model outlooks are really saying with this low pressure area, and then we'll talk about the actual dynamics behind it. Oh, right now, with the latest GFS run, we do see something kind of spinning up here. You can see a little bit of a low pressure area, possible tropical depression or a weak tropical storm. Even zoom in on this with the Wonderground platform from the 18 UTC run here on Sunday, showing about midnight here on Wednesday into Thursday, and what you can see is really the GFS is being aggressive somewhat on a track very similar to the actual track of Typhoon Haiyan last year, and that's kind of the case with these storms that form in November and December. They typically stay down here farther towards the south, staying out of the grasp of the northeast monsoon. Track similar, but the intensity very, very different. This is showing winds about 35 to 40 knots max, maybe up to 50 knots possibly. That's enough to blow around any light debris. Any unreinforced structures very well could be knocked over if this scenario was to take place. I think the bigger issue here, though, not be the winds, but more or less the rainfall. I mean, take a look at this. This is the about 90-hour outlook, and you can see some areas actually seeing upwards about 2 to 3 inches. We're talking about several hundred millimeters of rainfall in eastern portions of Leyte and Samar. So there is that threat of flooding, even extending over towards parts of Cebu. Now, this is based on this model outlook, and this is before we actually got really a genesis phase set in on this storm system, so this could still vary quite significantly. The biggest issue I do see, this is based on basically past experience with storms this time of year, and also all the outlooks we are looking at this time. I mean, right here you have the NavGem showing a very similar output that the GFS was showing that I just showed you a second ago, and also the ECMWF, which was that rainfall accumulation, is the fact that this is going to stay on a westerly track. That does happen. It should stay out of the grasp of this high vertical wind shear off towards the north, dry air. I mean, we're looking at 30 to 40 knots in northern portions of the Philippine Sea, but around the 10-degree north latitude line, it's pretty favorable for development. The big thing keeping it towards the south is the subtropical ridge, which typically dominates in here. You have the northeast monsoon, which comes down like that, the jet stream farther off here towards the north. So storm systems this time of year typically run along the easterlies right into that path, and that's what we're seeing here with all the outlooks coming onshore in eastern Visayas. So as far as the direction of this, that's not a question. It's the intensity, because it does move over some very warm sea surface temperatures. Actually, take a look at this. I mean, in these areas right here, based on the earth.nullschool.net platform, this is what the GFS run, you're looking at about 30 degrees sea surface temperatures in these areas down towards the southeast, actually where the storm system is moving over right now. You have about 31 to 32, so there is a lot of heat available in the ocean for development. Now, is that going to transpond into something more significant. Oh, there's all these other factors. It's not just sea surface temperatures, but it definitely is a contributing factor. Now, this is the big issue. If you are in Yap and Palau, be ready for some scattered showers, some gale force winds, guys. It is definitely coming into your direction. Eastern portions of the Philippines, it's that time of year, and also especially following the last several years, where you need to watch any tropical system out here, especially this far south. Just be alert of it. Right now, I wouldn't start raising the red flag saying a typhoon is headed in your direction. Really, anybody to say otherwise, there is no data to support that. There is data enough, though, and you can see here with the morph microwave imagery, you have the moisture in the atmosphere. There's data enough to know that there is a lot of rain coming. Flooding is possible. Even some winds are going to be kicking up. But nothing more than that, at least given what we're seeing. But definitely be alert. Be ready for something more to possibly occur. All right, guys, that is all for me right now. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, post them down in the comment box below. Always appreciate the feedback. No matter what it is, definitely appreciate that. And as always, stay safe out there.